Well, welcome down, friends. How y'all doing? It's Southern Sunday lunchtime, and we are ready. I got my hot coffee. I hope you got you some. It's kind of overcast and cloudy here today. What's the weather like where you're at? Drop us a line. Tell us where you're from, what the weather is. We'd like to know. Just sit, Mama. Just sit. It's straight out of the pot, folks. We're having a simple, super simple lunch today that may sound a little complicated. Some of y'all are going to say, that ain't so simple. This, we call it stuffing casserole. Chicken casserole. And we make it with just a plain old box of stovetop stuffing, which it ain't even stovetop, it's a straight value brand. But I'm going to upscale this till you won't even know the difference. You're going to be going, whoa, that's some homemade dressing. Come right down here to this cutting board and let's see what I'm doing. So, y'all know one of the main ingredients to homemade stuffing is delicious celery and onions and poultry seasoning. Well, that's what I'm going to put in this. They've already got some in it, so this won't be made just like mine that I make homemade. But all I'm doing is substituting their breadcrumbs. You can get Petridge Farm, you can get all kinds, but this is great value. We use it. I'm going to substitute their breadcrumbs for my cornbread and biscuit bread. Other than that, I'm going to do everything the same. Now, this is just 2 ribs of celery that I did not string. I know there's a controversy out there amongst cooks, string or not to string. I don't know. If I'm going to serve it raw on a charcuterie board, I string it. Other than that, I don't string it. I don't have any problems with it. Mama's dropped the set out of her ring. So this is going to be 2 whole ribs right here. Except for the little end pieces right there. We're not putting in. This is 4 tablespoons of butter that just melted. So right into this it goes. The celery, the celery, the celery. Now I'm not going to pre-cook this before because it's going to go in the oven.
There's something in the floor.
Mama's seeing imaginary stuff to pick up. And right now I'm going to try to get by with a half of a yellow onion. Mama, get this root saved or is it too late?
No, I'll put it in. You can plant onions right on up to
Save that root, plant it, you'll have another onion. Replace this one. Take that outer part off. Just like that. Give it a quick slice, a rough chop, if you will. A rough chop. This little knife is not the best chopper. Let me just go ahead and switch if I've got my purple one handy. Mama, you got my purple knife handy? Well, somebody's come last night and stole. Nah, this is fine. Someone's come in the middle of the night and stole our purple knife.
I'm going to get out another one, so you'll have 2 that's over.
Mama's got an extra one hidden away. But I've used that same one ever since we started. I wouldn't feel right using another one.
You'll have to.
There's the oh, it's on top of it. Well, it was right where it wasn't supposed to be. This is my good old chopper.
I thought it should have.
Well, I thought it was too. And I thought, well, it's not over there, and it's not here. It must have been when you dried them last night. You just laid it over here.
I like trying to dry before I put it back to sleep.
So I'm just rough chopping up a half a yellow onion. Boy, it works so much better when you have the right tools, don't it? I know a lot of you don't like my little orange knife. They'll say, John, that knife's too small, but it's sharp. Look at that. It's sharp and it does a good job, but it just don't chop. But it ain't made to chop. It's made to peel and to dice celery. Now, I do like to use it with celery or something like that because I feel like I've got more control. But this is the chopper. These are, of course, Tupperware. We do use other knives. We've got tons of knives. But this is my go-to now. I'll do that. I'll pick a go-to for a long time, and that's the one I feel comfortable using. Do y'all do that? Y'all have the one kettle that you fix everything in, the one knife you use? Do you say things like, that's not my knife? That's not my knife I like to use. I sure do. Ain't it funny how we get attached to things? You get attached to your pillow, your side of the bed. When you go to a hotel or you sleep at someone else's house or something, do you feel strange if you're not at least on your side of the bed? What's up with that? We're creatures of habit, aren't we? So I think that half a yellow is going to be enough. I'm going to put it right in the bowl. In you go, in the bowl. This is the same knife I've used since the first time. And this is the same cutting board I've always used. Chore board.
I've got another chore board, but I ain't let you use it.
That's right, Mama. I wouldn't want to use another one. It wouldn't be mine. I'd be going, this bowl, this chore board is not my chore board. So we're just going to stir those onions and celery in that hot butter. Can y'all see? Come a little. Y'all are jumpy again today. I think my phone, when it's turned down, it makes it top heavy, and it's very easy to tilt over. So now I'm going to use some poultry seasoning. This is a little bit of sage. I don't even know what's in it. Ingredients say spices including black pepper, coriander, and sage, salt, sodium. Well, it's got a lot of stuff in it, but I use it. Love some poultry seasoning. You use this on poultry too. It's not just for cornbread dressing. I'm just covering the top, which is probably going to be about a half a teaspoon if y'all want to measure out some. Now I know I just put something in there with sage in it, but I like to add a little bit of this is celery seed. I just put celery in there. But I'm still going to put a little celery seed. And I know I just put something in there that has sage in it, but I'm going to put some more sage because we're dressing this up, making it just like homemade cornbread dressing. Now I'm going to open my box of Stovetop. Stovetop is a brand name, just like, we say everything's everything. But all I want is some of these croutons here. And this is chicken flavor stuffing mix.
You need the scissors.
Yeah, I'm going to use this little orange knife here. Yeah, it's basically just dried bread, folks. But in it goes. This is going to be delicious with our chicken, and it already has some seasoning herbs in it as well. So into this, I'm going to add 1 can of, you guessed it, what? Let's say it together, clients. Cream of chicken. Cream of chicken. Cream of chicken goes into about half of all the things we cook in the South. I don't know. People, I guess, do eat it, but I don't hear people eating a lot of cream of chicken soup if it's not in a casserole. You can't hardly find it around here around Thanksgiving time because everybody's got it for their dressing and their gravies and other things. Cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of mushroom. You guessed it. Those are all casserole ingredients in the South. Can you make your own? Like, gosh, you can. And it's not even that hard. But do we? No. Now I'm going to add a can of water.
I've got the chicken.
You got chicken broth? Oh, Mom not adding no water. I'm going to add some chicken broth. Mama's got chicken going.
Fill up that breast.
We had those breasts left out of that pack that we started. And we've eaten only like 3 times. Let me have that and I'll try to rinse out my... Are y'all ready to go back a wide angle?
Set it up here.
Can y'all see?
Set all my chicken.
Chicken's done. I'm going to try to pour this can without getting burnt.
You're gonna get drunk,
because I want the rest of that out there. I don't want to waste it. Into it goes. And I'm going to put this chicken in here as well. Well, I think I'll just use all this broth, Mom.
Yeah, I just use
Or at least rinse my can out. This is about 3 chicken tenders, chopped up, diced up, and boiled. And there we are. Now this will look like a lot of liquid, but you got a lot of dry bread in there as well.
We can put some light bread in it.
We can add up with some light bread, but this is going to soak up a lot of that because that was dry, folks. Dry, dry, dry. Mama, I don't know if that's making a lot of noise to them or not.
Oh, I'll turn it on. Or turn it way down.
Turn it down a notch. That'd be great. Okay, so this is our chicken, our dressing, our celery, our onion, our sage, our poultry seasoning. All those good things that we put in there to make cornbread dressing. Now, I don't know what this is going to taste like. Didn't put any salt because everything I put in there was a little salty. You know, the sage had salt, the poultry season had salt, the creamy chicken soup definitely had salt.
It has plenty of salt.
Oh my. That tastes very much like Thanksgiving. See where all that liquid's going? Away. It's been absorbed by those crumbs. This is the casserole, folks. This is it. We're going to pour this in an 8x8.
Well, it's, I don't know if an 8x8.
That Paladin dish.
It might fit in an 8x8.
What are we going to put it in? It'll fit in 8x8. This is the chicken casserole. It's upscale box mix. Now, I could have made, with 2 more ingredients, cornbread and biscuit bread, and I could have made homemade. But I really didn't want to. Did you take my can, Mama?
Yes, I did.
I've got the lid here.
Here, I'll take it, put it in it.
Why don't you bring it to me, and I'll...
Crush it. If I can find it.
No, she's not going across the football field. She's standing around. Quit making Mama run, John. Folks, if you all knew Mama and her obsession with running around. I wish I could see you on a Saturday morning when you're trying to do 15 things. And I put that lid in here and I crushed that can. I don't want no little fur babies putting their little heads. I don't care if it is a nasty old coon or a possum or a skunk. I just don't want nothing to run around with that stuck on its head because I didn't do what I should do. I wouldn't even want a snake in there. I wouldn't want nothing to suffer. Just kill it or whatever, but not let it
That was
suffer.
plenty enough chicken for that amount.
Well, Mama, it's perfect.
I think you need to put a piece of light bread in it.
Now it's got to cook.
Yeah, but it's...
And that's still hard. It's crunchy. You want light bread in it, Mama?
Well, we'll cook and see. We'll eat it soupy.
And think of the bright side. If it doesn't, you can blame me. You can say, I told you it needed light bread. You can talk about that for the longest.
I know it, and I will.
Now, I'm not going to spray this or anything.
It's got enough butter.
It's got butter. It's not going to need any spray. And I'm just going to dump it in. You want to get all that out of there. Get every little goodie. Because look how much more is coming out after I scrape the bottom. And over here's some more. Okay. And we're just going to spread him out, level it up so it'll cook even. Now, folks, this is not all homemade. But it is upscaled enough that it's going to be delicious. And we're going to enjoy it. And we're going to open up some cranberry sauce. And we're going to have fresh cooked green beans, mashed potatoes. Y'all know last night we were talking about mashed potatoes. We were having some mashed potatoes, Lord willing, today. Mashed potatoes, green beans, a little bit of cranberry sauce, and this is it. This is lunch. It's a quick and easy chicken casserole. I don't know how you could come up with a simpler one unless you went out and bought it somewhere and brought it in, heated it up, a frozen one. That's going to go into the oven. And we're going to bake that. It's going to take it about 25 minutes, and we're going to bake it on 450 just to speed it up a little bit for y'all.
Not the glass dish, you're going to hold it up to 450.
Okay. 400, 350?
350.
Mama says 350, so it may be a minute. Y'all may not get to see the absolute finished product on this today. It may just be you'll have to see where we are when we go. That's the way it is with the live sometimes. The green beans that Mama's cooking were fresh green beans, meaning they had never seen the heat. So they weren't canned, they were fresh.
Out of my garden.
Out of the garden.
I planted 2 more rows in its place.
I wanted to show y'all this. I just got it out a while ago because we needed another one. This is the lemon juice that we use. We're not sponsored. This is just a product review. Minute Maid lemon juice. It's equivalent to 7 lemons. It's frozen. It comes in your frozen section at the big store, Walmart. And this is what the box looks like. So that's what you're looking for. Once you open the box, it's a yellow, bright yellow container like this. So this is what you see us using all the time. Now I stand behind this 100%. I've never had any lemon, artificial, none of that tastes like this. This tastes just like real lemons. I wouldn't care to make a lemonade out of this. It's good, folks. It's frozen solid. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator, and it's going to be ready for us to use next time. I use the last up. That's the way we do. Whatever we use, we replace. That way you got it the next time you need it. I don't need it today, but I'm going to need it another day, and I want it ready to go. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to show them that box. I'm always telling them. Minute Maid. You can take a screenshot. It's in the frozen section. We try to keep them. We try to keep it ever. There's another one in there, but we need to be purchasing another one to replace the one in the freezer. Because we use it. It's delicious in your tea. It's delicious in your water. It's delicious in any recipe I've ever used it in. I've never thought, boy, I shouldn't use that Minute Maid lemonade. So there it is, folks. Yummy and delicious. Now this coffee's cooled down to perfection. Now I can just drink it. A lot of times, Mama, did you put a timer on that?
No, I did not.
Put your timer.
I was looking at the temperature.
Put it for 20 and we'll check it. Hi, John and Mama. Hey, Linda. How are you? I had a lot of folks on here last night, and there was a lot of comments about they don't ever say anything to me. They don't like me. Folks, I wish y'all could recognize how we appreciate every comment. We really do. But I only see the most at 3 at a time, and they're moving. So if it's hard, if you just was going to concentrate just on those, I probably would catch a lot more of them. But when you're cooking and you're looking up, I'll look up and I grab one. There's no rhyme or reason, and there's no reason why I call on one and not another. There are some that appear more often because they're making more comments, or their algorithm's set up to where their shows. Now sometimes I won't see any comments on here about certain things, and then when I go back and read them, I see additional comments. So I don't get them all during the live. So like right now, I don't know what's showing on your screen, but mine is from Sheila Westbrook, and it says, hello from Texas. Hey, Sheila. So whatever I'm seeing is not always what you're seeing. So it's a different world. So please don't be offended or think we have an ulterior motive. I don't have time to think about ulterior motives or think about, I'm not going to call him that person. I really don't. I really don't. We had gorgeous weather here in Minnesota. Well, Stephanie, we don't today. I mean, it's pretty rainy day, pretty overcast day. I love a good rainy day. I'm not one of these people that gets depressed on rainy days. I love a good rainy day with a book. Sit out in the swing on the porch and read a book on a rainy day. Oh, we have a tin roof on our porch out back. By design, we wanted a tin roof. I said, I want a tin roof. I think there's a beautiful music in a tin roof when it rains. Enjoy it so much. So I love a tin roof. And to sit out there and hear the rain hitting the roof and read a book or read your Bible or study your Sunday school, I mean, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love those kind of days. But too many of them in a row, you get a little bit, I'm going to need some sunshine. But I'm not crazy about the heat either. It's 77 degrees right now. I'm liking that. It was better than 87 yesterday. It's 10 degrees cooler right now than it was yesterday when I was out there. So, enjoying it for sure. But it's a beautiful day, but it's just overcast and rainy. We had rain last night. We even had a flood advisory.
It poured down last
It
night.
poured. It poured. Hello from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Hey, Gail. Don't stress over those who I couldn't see. I'm not stressed that Terry, who complained about commenting. I'll try not to stress. I just don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You know, that's the only stress I have about it. I know we're doing the best we can. I love a mild storm too, Mary. I just don't want people to get those kind of notions in your head that we have a motive or we are trying to not to talk to somebody. That's ridiculous. Hello, John and sweet mama. Hey, Alice. Elisa. Sorry. 91. Oh, no. Marion, 91 in Sarasota, Florida. Woo. Y'all got that ocean, though, to enjoy the 91 degrees. I always say it. Tennessee would probably have more well, it could be terrifying, tourists, but we would have more tourists and more vacation stuff if we could get one of them oceans, you know. Now, a lot of our friends here in the South, you know, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, y'all have yins an ocean. We're just stepped back just a little bit too much to Tennessee. We lost out on the ocean, but we have the mountains. Beautiful mountains. Cranberry sauce. And if you got the opener?
I'm going to hand it.
Or do I have it over here in my neck of the woods?
No, right over here. If I can get my hands on it.
Mama's wanting this cranberry sauce opened. I'll just put it in one of these storage containers.
There's one right there.
You ever notice how cranberry sauce is upside down to open it with the bottom is on the top? Some of y'all probably didn't know that. See, that's the can. It's upside down. You open it from the bottom. It's always that way.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll just
You
stick it.
through with this mess?
I'm through with everything, Mama. I'm on coffee break.
Oh, great.
I ain't turning my hand for another thing.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Unless you want me to, Mama. If you have a chore.
I'm glad you changed that real fast. I was going to say.
I was talking big, wasn't it?
Ooh.
Mama make you think big. Mama line me out. Hello from Greenville, South Carolina. Hey, Rose, how are you? Biscuits and gravy for breakfast this morning. Oh, Virginia, no.
Oh, Lord. I wish I was getting
Far from it. No, I don't know what happened this morning. We was both up at 6 o'clock. Mama's not usually up that early. And I did a Sunday school lesson at 9 something. Sunday school highlights. We do that every Sunday morning, in case you're interested. And we had bacon and eggs and toast, though. But that gravy and biscuit thing, Mama's diabetic, and I don't do a lot of sugar. Try not to. Try to do less and less and less. And in case you don't know, I've often laughed about it. Gravy and biscuits is just biscuits with liquid biscuits poured over top of it. I mean,
It's so good.
it's so good, but it sure ain't It's a lot of bread. And if I have something to do, then a lot of times I ain't going to start my day out with high carbs because I know what it'll end up being. I'll be so tired, just sluggish. But so we don't do a lot of biscuits and gravy for breakfast. If we have biscuits and gravy, it might happen on a Saturday morning if we just ain't got nothing to do in the wintertime. You know, like it's snowy and cold. Let's just start the day out with biscuits and gravy and sit around the house today because we ain't going to do nothing. But it's supper time. It's a wonderful time to have biscuits and gravy. If you get tired, you can go to bed. We don't want to have them too late, though, because you don't want that much sugar and go to bed. Biscuits and gravy are wonderful, but boy, they sure will fill you up in a hurry.
I could eat my plate and I'm not
Today, but now she don't always. Why don't you take the top to this?
Yeah. I'm gonna take it up.
Push it in there.
It won't go in there. I couldn't get it. I want you to open that. I'm gonna put this little bowl of macaroni in there.
Oh, we have macaroni and tomatoes.
Yeah.
What a wonderful treat. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Got leftover some macaroni that I'm gonna
Safety first, folks. I'm the official opener, the official chopper. What else am I, Mama?
There's a little bit enough for two.
Dishwasher sometimes.
Yeah. What is it? Chief cook or bottle washer?
No, it's the chief cook. I don't want to be the chief cook, though. I like to do what I'm told. I like to do what I'm told. That looks like it's browning a little bit on top over there. We may have it quicker than we thought. It's got about 12 more minutes to go, though.
No, it ain't brown. It's just the shadows. That's why I say you can't see in there. It's not enough high to see on top, so we've got to get that shadow look.
It's a little aggravating, ain't it? We got so much cooking going on here. We got them green beans just boiling over here. We've got potatoes for mashed, and here's leftover macaroni from something we had. What did we have this for, Mama? Something we had 2 or 3 years ago, and this
2 or 3 years ago.
y'all probably will say John has had that because you'll know more than I will. So this is just a can. Now this is what I'm saying. You don't have to wait for homegrown tomatoes to have some of your favorites. This is just a can of stewed tomatoes going right in to these macaronis, and they're going to be absolutely delicious.
Set it on the stove.
Put it on the stove, Mama. Get it to cooking. So what do y'all have?
I was gonna have macaroni and cheese, but I knowed you would fuss. Cause cheese and dressing.
Mama, I just expressed my opinion. It ain't really fussing.
Cheese and tomatoes and dressing. Potatoes and cheese and dressing was too much.
Mama worked in the food industry for years and years and years and years. She knows all about starches. She knows all about complex starches. She knows all them things. She's taken classes on them. But then she forgets them when it comes time to eating. She don't forget. She wants to. We've been known
Have starch.
to have mashed potatoes, green beans with round potatoes on them, cornbread, macaroni and cheese in the same meal. Well, you might as well just sit down with a spoon and a 5-pound bag of sugar, because that's all starches, which turns into sugars. And I said, Mama, a little heavy on the starches. I know, but it's all good. Eat it and hush.
That's the truth.
You know, they say nurses make the worst patients. Nothing against you nurses, but you all know what you're doing, and when somebody don't do something right, you tell them. You know. Mama's a good cook, but she don't like to be reminded of anything healthy. Y'all know how she's against. She's part of the National Organization Against Green Vegetables. She's like your children. When your children won't touch a green vegetable for nothing. Green beans she'll eat.
Yeah, in my defense, when I was a young girl, I got poisoned or real sick on potato salad and green beans is what I ate at a picnic that us kids took to the mountains that we didn't have coolers or ice. And I was up a teenager, older teenager, before I would ever take another bite of green beans.
Mama, let me look it up. I think the statute of limitations on that's over. You can't hold a grudge against a green bean for over 40, 50, 60, 70 years.
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay, let me just. This is a true story that just happened less than 24 hours ago, and this was Mama's confessional right here in this room, and you all weren't here, or she wouldn't have said it. Come back, Mama. Don't you
I'm
want
not
to come
going
back?
to
Come
confess
back. Come
to
back.
that.
So
I know what you're going to talk about. That broccoli I wouldn't eat.
she didn't eat that broccoli put on her plate. That's not, by the way, but that's not what I'm going to talk about.
Oh.
I have gotten a recent addiction to these right here.
Oh, boy.
I just love these little things, little pistachios.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just a few little, I've just been eating on them for a week or two, and they got a little sign on them, so I try to monitor. Well, these were sitting here. Mama said, "Let me try them." She tried them. She loved them. She started eating them. She said, "I don't know why I like them little things." And she said, "But they're good." And I said, "Well, they are, Mama. They're good. If you ever have one, I'm going to tempt you on because they're good, and I think they're kind of good for you." And I said to her, "Mama, I'm surprised you like them." I said, "For two reasons. They say they're healthy, and they're green." And she laughed, and she said, "Yeah, they're green. I can't believe I'm even eating them." Then she gets on here today acting like some green bean done her wrong 70 years ago is the reason she ain't eating green stuff. Now, that ain't true. I guarantee you, if chocolate fudge came green, you'd make an exception.
Yeah, tasted like chocolate, I would.
Do y'all like pistachios? You can buy them in Hull, but I like the challenge of hulling them. We have been hooked on these for 2 weeks. This is the second bag we've gone through. They're sitting here in the fruit bowl. And I hull out a few every day or two. And I'm thinking, why are you so hooked on them things? They're good. Love pistachios. Melissa, do you eat them a lot? I mean, you have them sitting around? I think I'd do better if they come in little individual baggies, so I could just eat one to go on instead of a whole big bag. This is what I was eating that day when I was waiting on Mama at the meeting. I've been hooked on them ever since then. Remember, I stopped at the Dollar General and got them for supper, and that's what I have for supper. Well, that got me hooked. And I've been an addict ever since, a pistachio addict. And I was throwing these shells out the window, and y'all told me I was littering. Some of y'all told me I wasn't. But I thought it was given back to the earth. It's all natural. And it was going in grass. It wasn't like it was piled up on the sidewalk for somebody to have stepped on. But I quit because you convicted me so. Can y'all hear that beans boiling? Can you hear that over here? It's a good sound. Love them and can eat a bag or two in 3 days. Sally, it's the truth. There's something in them. I'm convinced there's something in them that is addictive because I can eat peanuts and not go back to them. But them pistachios are just good. Got sick on hot dogs 60 years ago and can't eat them till today.
See, it does last. You just don't know.
But Mama, you've taken your grudge of green beans and added to every green vegetable on this planet. How's them green beans doing? That's the funny thing. She'll eat green beans, but she don't like green broccoli, and she don't like Brussels sprouts, and she won't eat anything healthy, it's hard to get her to commit to it. But she's doing so much better.
I am doing it.
She's doing 0 drinks. Good mama. She's laid off on...
Not the candy.
Well, I will say there's a lot less things baked here than there was when we used the big oven. And I told y'all that story. But now she'll still throw stuff in the little easy bake sometimes because it's hot. That was Mama's thing. If we use the oven for anything, I mean anything, toast or otherwise, she'd say, well, since the oven's hot, I might as well bake a cake.
That's right.
Or since the oven's hot, I'll go ahead and stir us up some brownies.
That's right.
Or, since the oven's hot, I'm going to make some cookies real quick.
I think brownies is in order. I do.
And so she's laid off on those a little bit. And it's good to have those things occasionally, but what are you fixing now?
Well, I'm going to cook this cantaloupe and that little dab of watermelon, and I'm going to cut up a banana. And that's going to be our dessert.
Are you showing off the
We're
healthy...
talking about me, so I'm...
Well, come over here and show them what you're doing, Mama. See, she wants to hide over there so y'all can't see her. I get tickled sometimes at the comments when y'all say, John, you won't never let Mama be on the camera. And I get bawled out every time we do a video.
No, you don't get bawled out.
What I get, Mama? Talk to. I get a good talking to.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say, Mama? Tell them on the camera what you said to me off the camera. Like even last night when I put her and told her to sing a little ditty and she was... Tell them.
I didn't say anything.
Mama,
I didn't say a word.
what did you say to me? And you put me right on there.
Well, you should have not done that.
And me a telling you, don't do that. Does that sound familiar?
No, it don't.
Well, you got fruit flies flying around here.
I was trying to pick this. Oh, you done peeled the banana.
Well, it wasn't that hard. Mama would take credit for it, but it really wasn't that hard. This banana, we don't waste nothing. This banana peel, I'll take this Chiquita sticker off from it, but this banana peel will go on the roses. And boy, we did a little test and not knowing that we were testing, but we had been, you know, lazy. So we was just slinging the banana peel around the first 2 rose bushes. And we got to notice them, boy, those roses really are doing good. The rest of them ain't doing so good. And Mama said, I wonder why. And I said, I don't know. And she said, I bet you it's because we put bananas around them more. So we started slinging them around all of them, and they all picked right up and started doing better, didn't they, Mama?
Yeah.
Well, Mama, I got to say, that looks delicious.
Well, good.
Mama, you look like a big old sunflower patch today. How
I
pretty.
am a sunflower patch. I've got a sunflower blooming down there, and I seen it.
And it inspired you?
It inspired
You want an apple to put in that?
If you want to peel it and cut it.
Do you want it peeled?
Well, you don't have to peel it. Set it, I'll leave room for an apple. You can get a spoon over there and stir that up.
And you only like 4 more minutes on your casserole.
I would put more cantaloupe. So I would put more watermelon, but that's all the watermelon we had left. We ate.
Do you want more cantaloupe put in here?
No, you put an apple, and we'll have a good mixture.
Have a fruit. But now fruit ain't sugar free, but it ain't gravy and biscuits.
It's natural sugar. Ain't as hard on this.
Well, it ain't like eating
Processed.
it ain't like eating processed sugar. These are Granny Smith apples. I like a good Granny Smith. I like Red Delicious only when they're fresh, fresh, fresh. When they get a little old, they get a funky taste to me. Anybody else have that about Red Delicious? Mama's favorite apple is a Golden Delicious.
Golden delicious, not the red.
A Golden Delicious, but I don't like them either except when they're fresh, fresh. Do you all have that same thing going on? Seems like the Red Delicious gets, for the lack of a better word, don't even know what it means, is pithy. My granny used to call apples pithy. What's pithy mean? I don't know. Smushy. Not as crisp, not as firm. That's what I'm calling it. So, a little pithy apple taste is what I think of Red Delicious after a minute. What do you all think? Is that something I've got in my head? But y'all are delicious. Now I'm going to tell you folks, you all have no way of knowing. You just have to take my word on it. Every time she opens that oven door to check that casserole over there, it takes me back to November. It takes me to Thanksgiving. Those seasonings that I added in that, it smells just like Thanksgiving. Mama, what do you think?
Yeah, it's smelling wonderful.
Do you smell
I'm
the
very
Thanksgiving?
hungry.
Do you smell the Thanksgiving?
Yeah, and I'm hungry.
It's
And
not
I
unusual.
ate this morning. That's not like me.
I know, you're eating 3 meals today.
I
That's
don't
unusual.
usually eat.
It's, you gonna put this in a bigger bowl?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to since
I can eat out of this bowl.
we kept adding.
It's not unlike me to come up in July sometime and say, Mama,
What
It's
size
time
bowl
for-
have we got?
give me that biggest one.
The biggest one, or this one?
Oh, that's a bigger than what we got here, ain't it? It's not unlike me to come up in July and say, Mama, it's time for Thanksgiving dinner. Let's have some Thanksgiving. These are clearly elegant Tupperware. We love them. They're not glass. They look like glass. They look how pretty they make that fruit look. But it's not unlike me to come up in July and say, it's time for Thanksgiving. Let's have a little Thanksgiving lunch. And today may satisfy that because it's smelling so good. I think one of the things I really like about Thanksgiving are the smells, the wonderful comfort smells of Thanksgiving. Sage
They're
and butter
wonderful.
and celery and poultry season. Spice cake in the oven. Those smells. Apple cake, pumpkin. All those smells and flavors. Do you want? If you got some more of the cantaloupe, I'll put it in here now, Mama. Look at that.
Oh, that's stop.
You know, I could make up an instant pudding because it's time's up. I could make up an instant pudding glaze to put over this if you want it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want that?
That'd be good.
You got vanilla instant pudding.
Probably have. I'm gonna check this before I turn that open.
And Cool Whip.
There's Cool Whip here.
So that's apple, banana, orange, apple, banana, cantaloupe, and watermelon. I can
Is
put
that
an
done
orange.
enough?
Oh yes, looky here. It's out and it's done. Y'all have waited the time. Look at that. The oh yeah, it's good and crusted on top. There it is, folks. Just like Thanksgiving, it's chicken stuffing casserole. Love it. Absolutely love it. And it does kind of feel that need for that little comfort food of fall. Absolutely love it. Get all my garbage piled up here. Mom appreciates that. I put on that napkin. Put them pistachio shells on there too. Yummy. I love little spontaneous dishes like this, don't you? Just whoop it up and fix it up. You have to have Cool Whip for this.
I have to have Cool Whip for it.
If you got Cool Whip.
Oh, I've got some Cool Whip. Nice potatoes down.
I'm going to show you how to make a quick little fruit dip. It satisfies every time. Makes everybody happy. If you make this for somebody and they're not happy with it, I don't know. Ain't never happened. Some people like it better than others, but it's delicious. And it's so simple. That's the easy part about this. Just Jello instant vanilla pudding and Cool Whip and a little bit of orange juice. It's simple, and it makes a wonderful topping for your fruit. You'll have to
Took
microwave
the
that.
paper off from it already.
You'll have to microwave it.
I have to microwave.
Like that. This is what happens when you plan ahead of time. You end up with frozen
Here.
Cool Whip. Oh, frozen Cool Whip.
30 seconds.
Just soften it. Get it good and soft. Alright, so let's get us a little whisk here. I guess this whisk will work. This whisk will do. So I'm going to put, I'll give you the directions here. This is 3.4 ounce vanilla pudding. Instant Jello vanilla pudding. Now, a lot of times people will tell you to follow the directions on the box. No. You put your instant pudding. You put your instant pudding in there. That might work on them. We'll see.
A little softer.
A little bit softer now. I think it's all right. You put your instant pudding in your bowl. You just get plain old orange juice, and you pour in just enough.
Just enough.
I'm going to tell you, this is 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to start with 1/4 of a cup, and I'm going to put 1/4 of a cup in there. I just measured that for y'all. And you make up this paste. Can y'all see that? Vanilla instant pudding and 1/4 of a cup of orange juice, and you make up that paste. Now, to be honest with you, I'm going to add a splash more of orange juice, so just say a heavy 1/4 of a cup.
Heavy 1/4 of a cup.
Because it's just a little bit too pasty, really. This is the reason I don't measure, because you just have to do it till it gets there. So, I've probably put another...
1/4 of a cup in. Not hardly.
Not hardly. I'd say a little less than 1/2 a cup. You want it to be movable. Like that right there. And a tub of your favorite Cool Whip.
That's our store brand.
This is our store brand. Use yours, whatever you want to use.
We're pulling this out of the power of our teeth, everything.
You pulled this one out on me, Mama. Wasn't even expecting it.
Well, I wasn't either. It just came to me while I was cooking. Get rid of that fruit.
Get rid of it.
Well, we need.
Oh, the cantaloupe from 4th of July. We've had that in there since 4th of July, but we've eaten on
We've
it.
had it in the fridge smarts or whatever you.
They last. This whisk. Ooh. They don't fool this junk on TV when you see them making stuff, because they waste. They just throw this in the sink and say, "I don't worry about it." But they don't have Mama saying, "Don't you waste that."
They need a mama telling them some of that stuff.
Exactly. I agree. Y'all see this coming together? It's hard. I didn't set up for it. See, this is the camera business. You have to prepare for a few things. Now, I just put 1/2 of the tub in there and incorporate it really nicely. And then I'm going to put the rest of the tub in there. And it's all going to come together like a dream. Ooh, there's a clue.
Dream wheel.
Dreamsicle.
Dreamsicle.
This tastes an awful lot like an old-fashioned dreamsicle that you used to get when you was a kid and loved it? And do you remember when they used to, hang me the place. Do you remember when they used to have us eating them push-up sherbet things out of the roll of toilet paper?
I know you was going to come up.
You Gen Xers know. We ate out of a roll of toilet paper.
We did not, or Jens did.
Mama, it was a roll of toilet paper with dots on it. You all know. Some of y'all are out there going, yes, we did, John.
Push-ups is what.
Push-ups, and they had a tube in them, but they served it in a roll of toilet paper.
I don't believe that was right.
It looked just like it was a cousin to a roll of toilet paper. If it wasn't the proper, it was a cousin. Now, this is what you call folding, folks. You fold that in. Go to the bottom, bring it up the side. Come around, go to the bottom, bring it up to the side. Go to the bottom, bring it up. Now this is dreamsicle dip for your vegetables. It pleases every time. People will come from miles around.
Oh, miles around.
Going a little heavy on Emma, Mama. People will come from miles around just to hear you talk about making dreamsicle dip for your fruit. Do y'all know where I borrowed that line from? Somebody tell me. Do y'all remember when Aunt Dee was fixing to get married to that man, and Andy was planting his petunias, and the man was trying to tell Andy how to plant petunias, and Andy said, "Folks come from miles around just to hear me talk about planting petunias." I love that. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. Now, yes, I've seen it 25 times. And the next time I see it, I will laugh again. Oh, so folks come from miles around just to hear me talk about making this dip. So you know they're going to love it. This is dreamsicle fruit dip. That's what that right there is. And it'll last in your refrigerator. And you can do this a multitude of ways. The way we like it best is just as a topper. The way you can fix it, but it don't hold up quite as good, is to mix your fruit in this and mix it up, and that's good too. If you're going to serve it that day, go for it. But if you're not, let me do a flyover. If you're not, you see how dreamy that is and how delicious? It's wonderful. There's your fruit, there's that, and all you have to do is serve that out. Put you a big old dollop of that fruit dip on top. And it is delicious. You can use this with any flavor of fruit. I can't imagine a flavor it's not good with. I love it with bananas. It's good with pineapples. It's good with apples. You can just use it as a dip. It's wonderful. If you want to fancy it up, just a notch, and you want people to think you went all kinds of ways out of your way, get you a can of not marinara cherries. John, get it right. Mandarin oranges. Drain them. Don't only drain them, put them on a paper towel and dab them. Get all that juice you can off from them, and then cut them up with a knife, and then re-tap them. Put that dry as you can get mandarin oranges in there and stir it in. You got them big orange chunks. My, oh my. That's a good time. Look at this meal, folks. Let's do a flyover this whole operation. So there's the macaroni tomatoes. There's the green beans. Now, those were just green when she put them on 35 minutes ago. There's that little bit of chicken casserole that we upscaled. And there's some mashed potatoes. Mama's got to have them. And that's cranberry sauce straight out of the can. And that's our fruit bowl and our dream dip. We call it dream dip for short, but it's dreamsicle dip for long. All right. Now, I don't own any rights to the Andy Griffith Show, except I give them credit for half-raising me because I watched them my whole life. Mama half-raised me and Andy half-raised me because that was just... And, I don't think it's a bad thing to be half-raised by Andy because There were some good lessons on there. So we ready to eat just any minute now. Thank y'all for sticking with us. I know this took a little longer, and sometimes our lives go a little longer because we do it start to finish with y'all, because we have in the past tried to prep and do half of it, and sometimes I didn't see what you did. I missed that. So sometimes it just has to be what it is. But we try not to stay too long.
And sweet tea, since we got all these
Yeah, I think
others.
that's a good call on unsweet tea for me.
All these others.
For I love it. I love unsweet tea. Mama, what are you going to eat this fruit out of?
I got the little bowls over here. We'll leave them out of here.
Okay, if you want to get that, I'll make one and let them see what I'm So this is what you do with your fruit. Don't feel so far away, but you know. So when you get your fruit in your bowl, you just get your bowl and you put your fruit in there like this. Get you some colors in there. See how pretty? And then you just get you a big old dollop of this wonderful orange cream and put it right on top. Now if you want to put a little nutmeg on it, you can. Sprinkle you a dash of cinnamon on it, you can. There's just anything you want to do, but my favorite way is just plain old simple right there.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And it's good. Beautiful and good. And this is dessert today. Mama, you're so smart to come up with something special.
Oh. I thought I was pretty clever.
Well, you're as clever as you can be. Clever as you can be, Mama. And there's the dessert today. We don't often do dessert.
No, but I thought it would be nice.
It is nice. It's a Sunday treat. It's as special as we can have.
Oh, I was getting us napkins too.
Oh, well,
I did use yours. I was just not unfolded.
you're still perfect condition. So, that'll be tea. This will be chicken casserole. I'm going to show you this up close like, so you can see how it looks like Thanksgiving. Don't that remind you of Thanksgiving, folks? Now that's a treat right there.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that.
I know, Mama. Don't you get your mouth too full, because we're going to be going in just a minute.
Yeah, we've kept them on here all day.
You've kept them on here half the time and coming up with extra desserts and all this stuff.
Woo.
I started to make you a hoe for gravy when you ain't got
Yeah, we
gravy.
didn't have gravy.
I was thinking. Now look at these home canned green, home
Cooked.
raised, cooked fresh today, peanut green beans.
They ain't,
Anybody who watches this show is no stranger to peanut beans. Mama, these are perfection.
they smell wonderful.
They sure do. And this right here is one of my favorites. As a
That's
child, as an adult, today.
That's the leftovers. That's good.
This is that macaroni we had a couple of years ago and left in the refrigerator. Can't even remember what we had with it. We had goulash in a spell. Wonder what it was.
Over here. I don't want it in my tomatoes.
As I've said before,
Picky.
if there is a help group out there for people who live with super picky people, I have a friend who might want to sign up.
Not you, would it be?
Oh, no. It's me. Let's bless our food. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful meal. We thank you for the fellowship, dear Lord. We thank you for nourishing our bodies with it, Lord. And we just pray that you'll be with us, leading, guide, and direct us in everything that we do and every step we take, Lord. Be with all the hurt that's out there and all the pain, dear Lord. Be with each and every prayer request and each and every need. And as you can answer these needs and prayers as only you can, Lord. In your blessed name we pray. And amen.
Amen.
Oh, Mama, don't get too big of a bite, baby. Take a little bite. Give it a sample. I'm going to try, of course, Thanksgiving first. Uh-huh. That's where I'm going.
I thought I might have left that chicken in too big a hunks, but it's...
You could not convince me that ain't homemade.
No, it's good. Very good.
I mean, I would not think, boy, that's stovetop stuffing. Or great value stuffing. I would say, boy, you done good for July, and that tastes just like Thanksgiving. And these green beans was raw when we started this video. Oh, look at there. Cooked to perfection.
Very good.
Oh. Canned green beans is such a blessing in the winter. But when you are in summertime and you get a fresh green bean and it cooked that day, there is no comparison.
We won't have no more of them other 2 rows produces. They're up about like this now.
How did you make these, Mama? Because you didn't get to see them.
Oh, all I done was, I had them broke up already in the refrigerator, and I just washed them, put them in the kettle, put water, salt, and little bacon grease, because I didn't have no meat out. And that was it.
That macaroni and tomatoes. There's been nights at this house that this was the star of the show. Macaroni and tomatoes and a little bit of cornbread. That's supper, folks. That's a wonderful meal in itself. And
I opened up the refrigerator and seen that dish of macaroni, and I thought, macaroni and cheese. I thought, no, too much starch. Macaroni and tomatoes, which turned out really good.
all right, Mama, let's try.
Kind of pretty. It's white.
Let's try this.
Green, red again.
Mom, watch her. She won't turn that down. So let's give this a taste for you, and then we're gonna run.
Oh, I like it.
Banana, a little bit of cantaloupe. I can't get to no watermelon just yet.
Oh, that's so good. Very quick.
I'm through eating. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this.
I know your mom.
All right, folks, we're gonna say goodbye. You have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy yourself. Find you something good to eat and make you some memories. That's what this life is all about.
Oh, yeah.
Gathering up some memories. Mama, you got anything you want to add today?
No, I've added plenty enough to make it an hour long.
You've done wonderful, Mama. You've done wonderful. What a blessed meal. We are so glad to have y'all here. We ask you to share us, like us, follow us, interact with some hearts. That will put our algorithm out there. We are growing. Thank you all for that.
I didn't know you had a glass over there.
Oh, that's just fine, Mama. You're fine. Thank you for all that, and we appreciate it so much. And the more viewers we have, the more that we have to share with, and you all too. So just keep on keeping on. You all are the best out there. You are wonderful, and we are so blessed to have you. And if we don't comment on everybody, we love each and every one of y'all. And everybody here, remember, I've told you this several times, you all are VIPs, very important people. If you wasn't very important people, you wouldn't have been on the wake-up list this morning.
That's right.
You are all important to God and to us. So thank y'all, and have a blessed day.
Bye-bye. God bless you.